actually from Kidisu, KKs, and Haisla Nation. And I actually grew up in LA, like in Surrey. She is basically like my superwoman, and she's been helping me a lot with kind of like growing myself and also like my knowledge in like our natural healing and our medicines. And also on the side, my mom is helping me kind of like learn how to do internal healing also. So I'm hoping to eventually like really like bring that to our people, like my indigenous people.
I'm 25 years old and I am a mental health consultant, researcher. I also work closely with the LGBTQ plus community, ensuring that mental health literacy is at the forefront. I went to Bear Creek Elementary, shout out to them. And I have grew up in Surrey, and it all started with myself being in your shoes at the age of 11 and 12 and battling with depression and anxiety. And at that time, not necessarily knowing what that was, felt lost. I felt worthless. I didn't know who I could reach out to, and things like that. That teacher just said, "Well, whenever you're ready, know it's okay to not be okay, and I'm here." And as simple as that may sound, that changed my life.
I am a food lover, a clumsy left-handed crafter who breaks the occasional can opener. I'm a two-time author of a young adults book and a children's book, an educator, a nonprofit CEO and ED to Spark Foundation for the last 8 years, a committee member of the Community Service Committee for the city, an expert candle scent detector, love my candles, and a student at SFU, a future political candidate for the City of Surrey municipal election, but most importantly, I'm a daughter, a sister, and a friend to many right here in BC.
We always used to hear this phrase, if life gives you lemons, make lemonade. But what if what we were given wasn't lemons? What if what life has given us wasn't simply a fruit or a seed? What if it was inequality, abuse, rules and laws trying to control our voices and our bodies? What if it was a whole history of expectations to follow and rules to obey? Simply because if we didn't, we were considered witches they burned in the flames.
Back in the days when I used to count syllables, I began to wonder if I was atypical. Too critical, afraid of the ridicule, little did I know that I could be pinnacle. Yeah, so my name is Ndidi Cascade. I'm a hip hop artist, songwriter, arts facilitator, creative facilitator, hip hop educator. I wear many, many hats. I'm also supreme auntie. I do a lot of things. I love to write music. I love to perform. I love to embark on creative projects with young people like yourselves. And I really, truly hope that I will see you soon in your classrooms. I love doing the hip hop education school programming.
I am one of the first Afghan women to participate in the Olympics in the sports of judo. And I'm also founder and executive director of a nonprofit organization based in Vancouver, British Columbia, a Women Leaders of Tomorrow Society. At a young age, I was very interested in doing non-traditional Afghan girl activities, for instance, biking, paragliding, and thinking to join the army. Just to wanted to prove to the Afghan society that girls are as strong as boys and we're all equal.
13 years ago, I was a Canadian national gymnast. I would travel around the world competing for Canada, and I was on track to compete in the 2012 Olympics in London. Unfortunately, one day I showed up to training, and my coach, who had been my coach for about 8 years, approached me to do a skill that I had never heard of. At 14 years old, I believed him. I trusted in him and I believed him and put my intuition aside, which is something you should never do. But on that day, I ignored it and trusted my coach instead. And the second time I attempted the skill, I landed headfirst and broke my neck and severed my spinal cord, which meant I am paralyzed now for life from the chest down. After a year and a half, after my university, I launched Cup of Tay, and it has been my life ever since. We are about 2.5 years in now. I know that It was mentioned that last year we were really fortunate to get on Oprah's favorite things list, which is like one of the biggest opportunities in the entire world because everybody young and old loves her. And since then we're in Indigo right now, Hudson Bay, and I just bought, you guys are the first ones to hear this, I just bought my first store, which will be opening later on this year.